Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I haven't posted a video in a long time. Yes, I'm gonna haven't posted this because this is America. I haven't posted a video in a long time, but like I finally am. Somewhere
of her collie dogs. She would actually train these dogs to wake her up at night if they heard a ship
look at this ocean.
so she could then run out there and wave a white lantern to them. She ended up doing this for the next 44 years. That's right. She spent 44 years out there in Elba Island with her older brother, greeting an estimated 50,000 ships in her lifetime. Now it's also said that she would keep logbooks of all the vessels that she greeted. By all accounts, these were very detailed logs. You know, she'd run in there the name of the boat as it passed by, but apparently she would step out to the edge and yell out to the sailors, asking them things like, "Hey guys, what are you carrying on board? Where are you coming from?" Things like this. And she would apparently write all this info down inside the logs that she kept. Well, unfortunately, we don't have these logs to this day. This would be really amazing to have them for, you know, any maritime historian, right? But we don't have them because she decided near the end of her life, she would gather up all of her logs one day and she just tossed them all into a great big fire. She just burned them all up. Of course, a lot of people wonder, why would you do this, right? Why would you basically burn up your life's work one day? Well, they came to the conclusion she did this because more than likely these logs were filled with a lot of personal information about her. She just, you know, didn't want the rest of the world prying into her personal business after her death. That's kind of equivalent to us nowadays. If, you know, we feel a heart attack coming on, maybe we delete our browser history real quick, right? We just, you know, don't want to be known for certain things after our death. But either way, it makes sense to us that she may have done this because at this point in her life, she knew she had become world famous. One of the ways she knew this is that she literally started getting fan mail halfway through her life from sailors all over the world would just send her random packages and letters, you know, detailing their adventures, even love letters on occasion. Probably my favorite thing, though, is that somebody one day sent her a llama to go hang out with her on Cotsworth or on Elba Island, which I'm sure was pretty great for her, right? But what's really, you know, a lot of longshoremen are off, not a whole lot of activity in our port. These are all privately held docks right here. So in other words, they're not even part of the Georgia Ports Authority terminals. But most days out here, we'll see all kinds of bulk carriers lined up, loading and unloading all kinds of different goods from here. You know, like sacks of kaolin clay and borax and lumber and all kinds of different things here. But guys, coming up here very shortly, one of my favorite things to point out is coming into view right now. If you look just ahead of us right here off the starboard side, you're going to see coming into view that giant pile of beige colored stuff right there. Folks, I love pointing this out because what you're looking at right there is currently the world's largest pile of Captain Crunch cereal right there.
Apple Crunch.
What, you guys don't believe me out there? Okay, yeah, you probably shouldn't believe me. No, guys, I wish it were true, but no, that's a big old pile of wood chips right there. I've literally had people jump up from one side of the boat and run over here, so excited to see this giant pile of Captain Crunch out there. No, unfortunately, that's a pile of wood chips, but these wood chips are actually being sent in the bulk carriers over to Turkey, where it's all turned into particle board. The particle board is then sold to companies like IKEA, Target, Walmart, so good chance if you have some of that particle board furniture, you know, the stuff that takes you like 2 days to put together, there's a good chance it came right here from the wood chip pile here in Savannah. And then you have the big old concrete domes there. Those are full of milk. No, I'm just kidding, of course. That'd be great though, right? Big old milk silos and then a Captain Crunch silo right next to it. No, guys, those silos are filled with compressed wooden pellets, just boring old compressed wooden pellets, which are being sent over to Germany and to the UK, for the most part, to be burned in wood pellet burning stoves. And then you have those big black piles of stuff over there. Those are both piles of what we call, or basically it's just refined coal, but it's also known as anthracite. It's kind of a higher quality of coal. And I was actually schooled the other day by a pastor. They said, hey, because for a long time I was just calling that just refined coal. But he said, you know, that's actually anthracite, and they use that mostly in water filtration systems. So like your Brita pitcher at home probably has a lot of anthracite in it to filter all the water out. And then you have that reddish colored pile over there. That's a big old pile of bauxite, mainly used in the production of aluminum, or, you know, aluminium, depending on where you're from, right?
Are you recording me? Oh my god! Why are you
subject I usually like to get into right here, and it's not something we can actually see being this for, but it's something incredibly important that took place right here back
I hope
during
you know I'm
World War
posting
II.
this
It's
on
what
YouTube.
used to exist
But
here.
okay,
Now,
good.
folks, starting from
Alright,
about
good.
where these concrete domes are at right now,
So,
going way up ahead of us, all the way to where those white tanks are at along the
I'm gonna
shoreline,
invite some of my
that
friends
entire
to
area
school,
of riverbank
and
right
they
here we're
can
about to
come
pass
out
by
and watch
used to be
Annabelle
dedicated
with
to
me.
one
And it's-
gigantic industry
And,
called the
check it.
Southeastern Shipbuilding Corporation.
And then so,
Now, this is where they built 88 of the Liberty ships
which
for the war
movies
effort.
do you like?
Now, just in case you've never heard of Liberty ships
What should
before,
I do for my
basically
birthday?
these were the boats that came about
Annabelle.
because
When is your
places like
birthday?
UK and Russia were having a
Or-
very rough go of it against the Nazis.
Comment down below
during
which
World
one,
War II.
Annabelle or Chucky.
And, you know, one of the biggest problems they were having is that just a ton of their cargo resupply
Black
ships
Panther.
were being sunk
Annabelle,
in
Chucky,
the
or Black
North
Panther.
Atlantic
Comment
by
down
the
below which
German
one.
U-boats. They essentially
now
had
they
to come
need
up with a way
Christ,
of building these ships faster
Yeah,
than the
so
Germans were
kids
sinking them.
outside, how about
They
that?
simply did not have the capacity to do so in those countries at
Nyla,
the
you want to do
time.
my outro?
So, that's one of
You
the
wanna be
big
like,
reasons why
thank
the
you for
UK especially
watching,
came to the
like and
United
subscribe,
States
bye.
and started a
Thanks
massive
for watching.
trading
Click
program
the
during the war,
subscribe button.
which some of you have probably heard of
Say,
before.
say bye.
A little something called
Say
the
bye.
Land
Bye,
Lease
bye,
Program,
Now cover
right?
the thing. Now
So
cover
just
the
to kind
camera.
of give you an
Cover the
idea of
camera.
the scale of this program, first of all.